performance. So we'll see if they kind of need that stock attachment. But overdrive goes, of course. There goes rapid fire. There goes active camo. I think Shiva, high caliber will also get banned out. There goes overclock. But for the most part, this entire series, like the tacticals have consistently made it through. The concussions, the flashbangs. There's high caliber. I fully expect to see a Shiva follow this up. I don't think there's any way you let the Shiva make it through on infection.
We've seen EMPs be used in that S&D. Nothing too big tactical-wise, as you mentioned. To finish this one on out, Pac-Man gets rid of Afterburner. And I feel like this is, as a player now, you make the decision where I don't want to perk 1. I go maybe perk 2 greed.
You're not afraid of any of the lethal grenades? I mean, Danger Close does make it through. It's definitely some greeds that we've seen it used.
It's definitely very useful, but I think at certain times it's used better in certain situations.
I think you use it off the break.
Exactly.
Just use Flak Jacket. You know there are going to probably be some Danger Close nades coming towards your front tank. Just to make sure you solidify, because that's a very important position to hold on the map, so you don't get naded out of it. Just run Flak Jacket, be safe.
Yeah, for the rest of the game, I wind up not using that. I'd rather have the ability to try to stop some of those tacticals or give yourself an extra slot in that perk 2 area. Either way, though, Tempest again in the hands of Royalty.
Stuff.
No Tempest on the side of TSM, especially with the nerfs of Scythe that continue to come in, and how, for me personally, Tempest beats Annihilator on almost every front outside of just the ability to kill very quickly, which is what the Annihilator is instant, obviously. So Tempest needs to charge up for that first shot. Tempest, for me, is the go-to pick. Here's a look at Infection flying on through. Remember, if you are new to competitive Call of Duty, if you're watching through the live event viewer, obviously on Black Ops 3, first of all, happy DLC day. I'll definitely be playing that when I get home tonight. But also, remember, we play more than just TDM or Search and Destroy here.
We play 4 game modes.
4 different game modes. Now it is Uplink on Infection, a map that ARs are very key to have. Those assault rifles can lock down those long lanes. Also, this is a map where you got to get control of key areas in your opponent's base. Revan, talk to me when you have this map pulled up. Where do you want to see teams begin to get control?
Well, on both sides of the map, I think for the most part, when you're attacking over towards the red goal, slightly more favored. But whenever you're attacking any goal on this map, you kind of take it in steps. First step, you push up past middle map, you get control of that front tank. After you do that, you find some more kills, you push up along the alleyway, then you start influencing the spawns and trying to work that spawn trap along the snow street. That's your ideal setup. It's really all about tank control on Infection. If you could control the other team's tanks, you could just relentlessly just get 1 point after 1 point, and I think the Shiva's going to have a pretty big effect on this map.
If there's any silver lining for a TSM fan right now, it's Game 3 and 4, Uplink and CTF have notoriously been 100 Thieves' weaker game modes. You have a chance to get to Game 5. Now, you expect 100 Thieves to still be very good in Game 5, but here's an opportunity to maybe get some momentum in your favor.
Momentum, but we've only really seen one Uplink from 100 Thieves. We've really only seen like one CTF from them. Not too much of like a map pool that we've seen from them. So from what we've seen from them against TK, of course, they haven't looked that great.
Obviously, we've only seen them once, but they've spoken about how it's one of their weaker game modes. We'll have to see how they perform Game 3. Infection Uplink, maybe to Mr. X. Let's get into it.
All right, guys, and I couldn't agree with you more. They vocally said they aren't a great Uplink team. One of the tougher maps to play against pro teams. They're in the pro league now, but they don't have as much practice against teams of this caliber. I think this is one that TSM should take, but if Royalty plays like he has the rest of the series, only God knows.
I mean, the easiest way to kind of get over a game mode you're not great at is to just outslay the opponents, right? I mean, it doesn't matter how sloppy you are in Uplink in general. If the other team's dead, it affords a lot of mistakes you're able to make. So I think if Royalty and Johnny can both have good games again with the assault rifles, I think you can see some interesting stuff. So I'm going to cycle through, actually. Johnny's going to be running a Man of War. You're going to have Nelson with a VMP, Royalty with an M8, and you're going to have another Man of War on examples. I believe Revan talking about the Shiva in the pregame. I don't think you're going to see any. Yeah, nobody running a Shiva.
All right, well, we'll see how things mix up throughout. Nelson's able to get in behind here. It might disrupt for a second, but he's going to end up dropping. Let's go back to mid-map control here. We're watching examples by these mid-steps, seeing if he can get eyes on with anyone. Kolchang kind of gets in right behind him, but has another player here to deal with before he drops, and that's 2 down. This may be a spurt of control for the side of 100 Thieves. They're going to opt to push this through Barn, get into Grave, your preferred setup here, pushing from this side. One teammate provides the distraction up over the top.
That looked off,
Gonna whiff. Not able to punch that through. and now it should get reset in just a moment unless they opt to wrap it. It looks like wrapping is the plan. He's got Pac-Man out front. Colchan wants to push, and what do you like about this?
Yeah, no, there's no reason not to wrap this. I mean, TSM, it's obviously a little bit of a fast break situation. They actually just get caught up in top rock. It's going to be examples of Nelson able to pick up some kills. Ivy not able to pick up Johnny.
That's 4 down.
And that's going to be a 4 dead, and now they're going to wrap that drone. Staggered 4 down, but it should lead examples to get off at least a 1-point throw. He's going to get it off, but not connecting again. So it's 2 1-point misses out of 100 Thieves here early, and we talked about how they're not the strongest of Uplink teams. Going to need to be much better than that.
No, I couldn't agree with you more. And they're going to get maybe a third opportunity here to put something through. Royalty doing a good job staying alive in and around the base. Is going to open up time for Johnny to wrap through as well. But I don't know if he's aware of the player in the corner. Not going to matter. Is they're going to be able to be pushing 2 through. He's got it. He should have a dunk. Does he go for it? He's a little bit tagged up, but there will be the dunk. Well, at least we know they can flush it through that way. Not great with the 1-point shot. I'll tell you what, man.
It's literally impossible to miss it that way. I mean, you just jump into the point. There's nothing. There's no really. There's no really art to doing that.
I wasn't sure. There is an art. Have you seen Vince Carter?
Yeah,
that's what we need. David Vonderhaar.
Half the kids watching probably don't even remember Vince Carter, like when he was good. He's like 40 years old, playing on the Grizzlies now.
That's what we need. You know how you can do gestures and stuff at the end of the game? Yeah. I want you to be able to hit like a D-pad and do a gesture while you're going up to slam.
Yeah.
That I would be a big fan of.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I don't know.
We'll have an Uplink dunk contest.
No, that's possible anyway. You're going to see Pac-Man with the drone. Doesn't have any teammate support. Might be able to at least get a 1-point throw off here. He's going to connect, and it's important for TSM to get some points on the board. Obviously, the side that 100 Thieves is attacking on, it's usually the side we see more teams put up more points on.
Yeah, could not agree with you more. They've done a good job applying pressure to this point, but now it's been TSM's turn for at least a little bit to try and push forward, try and get a bit of control. A couple kills coming in for TSM, 2 down for 100 Thieves. This might allow for a setup, but the problem's going to be Royalty here. He's mid-map, and he's going to cut them off as they try to come across. And there you see the movement coming into play. He wasn't able to win it, maybe slowing them down just enough. And we're going to see if those 1-point throws from 100 Thieves come back to bite them. You know, when I was casting in Europe, one of the things that was most impressive to me was actually Jerd. I don't think I saw Jerd miss a 1-point toss basically through the entire weekend.
But Nelson just whips 2 beatdowns.
That's all right. That's all right. He wanted to scare him away.
Yeah, anyway. But Jerd, when I actually casted McCrown, I saw the same thing. Doesn't miss 1-point throws, yeah.
Yeah, and having someone like that you just know is going to push it through, such a valuable asset to the team. So far, kind of a sloppy start to the game, but still 100 Thieves holding strong with a 2-point lead. But I think you feel okay about this right now if you're TSM.
Yeah, I think TSM, they still need to be worried. I wouldn't feel great about this if I'm TSM because, quite frankly, you look at the Slayers on both of these teams and whatnot, and it seems like 100 Thieves just has a more explosive lineup.
I've never seen Uplink slow down this much in my entire
life. Yeah, no, this is nobody going near the drone.
Did it switch to CTF and I wasn't made aware?
Yeah, it's going to be Ivy taking out Johnny here. It's going to be Royalty answering with a kill of his own. He's going to have the Tempest. He's going to get flashed at for a second. You're going to see Heatwave come in from Nelson. He's able to take out one. Pac-Man's going to pick up another in the middle of the map.
Yeah, both Heatwaves were used there, I believe.
Yeah, I believe so. It's the end of a Heatwave somebody got hit with. And it's going to be Johnny able to pick up 2. There's one more directly around the corner. Example's able to pick him up. So let's see if 100 Thieves make something happen with a drone. You should know that they're starting to spawn at least one player over by Grave. It's going to be Ivy.
On Pac-Man here to try and slow this down. He's going to go for the pick. He's playing the interception right now, I think. So he sees it go up. Is he going to be able to grab it? No, he misses
but it. Misses anyway.
But the shot misses as well. And that was nice. That's one of the first times we've actually seen it from that angle. The defensive player kind of gets set up there, play the pick like that. I like that because if that shot was on target, I'm pretty sure he would have been able to pick that off.
Yeah, it would have been close. You don't know if he's actually just jumping into the goal, like back into the goal and whatnot. Yeah, I guess Pac-Man's a veteran. I guess you can say you trust him. It's going to be Wheats, though, with the drone in hand. Should at least get a 1-point play here. He's going to get it off. You're going to see Royalty use his Tempest here at the end of the game. He's going to be able to get 2 with it. Obviously, there's nothing 100 Thieves can do to put any more points on the board. Potentially, TSM gets off a desperation 1-point throw. But otherwise, I think going into the second half, it'll be a 3-2 lead for 100 Thieves.
All right, so far, so good. I mean, the only time we've really seen them trail now is the opening couple minutes of that hard point, right? I mean, they led throughout the S&D. They're leading through the first half of Uplink. So outside a couple minutes of gameplay, they've really been outplaying TSM thus far. Impressive stuff for their first match in the Call of Duty World League.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with what we're seeing at 100 Thieves. Obviously, a team with a lot of pressure on them now. Going from King Poppy to an org built by Nadeshot's a little bit of an upgrade, I would say. I think these players are in a great position. I mean, who wouldn't want to play for Nade? Like a career move. I mean, just what he's done in esports as a whole. Just have him as kind of like a guide. And you're going to see TSM, though, pick up 3 kills here early. Johnny, the last one up 400 Thieves needs to go big on the defensive end. He's going to be able to get one, but Ivy clearing the way for Colchan. This should be a 2-point play, and it's going to be TSM taking the lead.
Now, this is what's scary. You know, they didn't get much of a lead at all. It was a 1-point lead going into the second side when you had the stronger side, not being able to make much of it. And this is a good position by Johnny. Johnny basically getting forward like that is going to cut off any players coming off a spawn, anyone trying to keep that rally going. So the train that is TSM shut down here, at least for the moment, and now it is their turn to answer back. 100 Thieves going to start flying forward. He needs a player to push this out with him, and there it is. Johnny busts out the scythe. He should be able to clean up a couple kills. They see one on the back tank. He's going to drop and wants to go for the dunk. He got greedy, though, as that is 4 down, and that's a tough one. He saw the player get picked up.
Yeah.
He thought maybe I'm okay to go for the dunk, but at the same moment, everyone else gets shut down at home by TSM.
Yeah, he had Royalty with him as well. So I think he's probably just listening to Royalty. I imagine Royalty's making calls like, I'm behind the tank, like, let's go for 2 and whatnot, and then Royalty gets taken out, and it just stops the offensive push. You're going to see a 1-point play coming in there for TSM. So we saw 2 1-point play misses out of 100 Thieves. This is a tie game if they knock those down. You see, they could end up getting punished for those.
They certainly could. If it were to stand right now, they're trying to push Johnny off of mid-steps here. They do one hell of a job. All of a sudden, Royalty, buddy, you're by yourself. TSM flying forward. We'll go to the drone carrier, which is Ivy. He's got a heat wave to go as well if needed, but he's got the melee. You don't need the heat when you got the fist. Picks up one, but he misses the shot, or that got picked off. It's still down, though. This is going to lead to a dunk, and that works out beautifully for TSM, despite a nice defensive play there on the side of 100 Thieves, and now you got a 4-point advantage for TSM.
Yeah, it was a missed throw, and then Ivy actually able to follow up his own miss and put it in. He's actually going to take Nelson out, coming into top church. Ivy doing a fantastic job putting pressure on the 100 Thieves base in this game. It's going to be Royalty taking out one mid-map. It's going to be Wheats flying through. He's able to take him out. Now you see Wheats with drone in hand. He's got a scythe, and you still have the heat wave on Ivy. He's dead, though, so not going to see that one come into play. It's going to be Wheats going for a 1-point score. It's going to get intercepted by Example, so a big play here. 100 Thieves. It's Nelson picking up 2 Examples with interception. Now trying to move the drone up the map. They need to pick up some kills here, maybe.
Yeah, well, that's the second interception they got. This time they were at least able to clear it out. You saw a failed heat wave coming in there, I believe, from Nelson as they were trying to shut things down, but now coming in, a failed heat wave from the side of TSM as they were trying to fly across and hold down mid-map. But now you'll see Examples, bobbing and weaving, going for the 1-point toss. He's going to miss it. That's the third. Is there anyone else to apply pressure? It's just going to be Nelson here. He's going to be taken out, and that is one more miss here. And I mean, even if they don't end up losing by a score where the 1-point shots would have mattered, you got to think about the fact that how different the game would have played out if the score was different throughout.
Right, because it forces TSM to play a little bit of a different way.
Yep.
If the other team's just running into your base, knocking down these 1-point plays. But that's 3 so far in this one. You see the scythe coming out from Wheats. He's able to take out Royalty, who's trying to force an assault on the TSM base. It's going to be Nelson going in through Grandma. He's going to be able to connect with this 1-point play. It's going to be Wheats, though. Pac-Man and Colchan in the kill feed. It's going to kind of reset the map here for TSM as they're going to be able to push up, get drone control again.
Yep, they've got it yet again. We've got under 90 seconds to go in this one. They've got drone into barn. This player in the corner has got a huge job to do. That's Examples. He gets one. He finds the second, not able to snap onto him, though, as he will end up dropping, but the pressure is still on. Nelson now has to get it done. He's got heat wave to go. He finds one in the corner. There's another player still in barn. Good chance for a heat wave. There it is. Shuts it down. Can he get the drone off? The answer is no. They're just trying to play defense. They keep getting pushed. How much time has been spent now with the pressure coming from barn? There's still one player there. They're going to try and get out with drone, but Pac-Man's still shooting him behind, so he stopped them from being able to wrap that out.
Oh, fantastic play by Pac-Man. Sorry. I mean, he actually picks up that big kill when the drone is trying to leave out of grave, just stops that entire push, because at that moment in time, it's 100 Thieves with everybody alive, and they have a really good chance to at least get that one off the map. They have specialist weapons to work with, and you see Royalty's going to jump out, only get one with the Tempest. I feel like every time he has the Tempest, he at least picks up 1 kill, and you're going to see it's going to be 4 dead for the side of TSM. As you see, it's going to be Colchan pushing into the other team's base. He's going to pick up 2, make it 3, pops his kinetic armor in the process. Not able to take out the final player, but it's going to be Ivy with the drone. Should be a 2-point play, and it's going to be TSM up 9-4. That one should put it away, Maeve.
That will do it. TSM going to get a map on the board again. We are playing best of 5s here. It's going to be a 2-1 lead currently for 100 Thieves, but TSM, known to be a resilient team, certainly capable of pushing this one the distance, because like we said, not the strongest uplink / CTF team is 100 Thieves. You saw what they can do in Hardpoint. You saw what they can do in Search and Destroy. I mean, thankfully for them, those 2 game modes take up 3 out of your 5, right, so you can win it. But it's that momentum shift, right? When you're going from, you have that 2-0 lead, if it comes back to 4 games, you're going to that 5th. You got to think all momentum is kind of shifted towards TSM.
I feel that Uplink and CTF for this team are going to be like a work in progress, like all stage 2. Like, I mean, right there, you got to knock down those 1-point plays. I mean, you knock them down like we were talking about, it changes the way TSM needs to play the game. You know, maybe they play a little bit more defensive. Maybe you're able to actually pick up some more kills in their base, turn those 1s into 2s. I just think this team is going to have a lot of work to put in on the Uplink specifically.
Yeah.
I think CTF, they can probably get away with just playing really slow and kind of just work for caps. But I'll be interested to see how this next CTF pans out.
Could not agree with you more. I want to hear what the guys on the couch think. Jack, Revan, take it away, boys.
All right, TSM. You show some life now in the series. Obviously still down overall, but it's a little bit more what you expected, I think is more than safe to say. Obviously, you heard Matt mention there's going to be a work in progress these games 3 and 4, the Uplink and the CTF, throughout all of Stage 2. Now, back to this one, Revan, you and I, we're watching, we're breaking things down. You can kind of see how play was developing. TSM were really pretty much in the game after they went down early on in it. What started going right for Team Solo Mid?
Well, I mean, first they get some fortunate plays where, 100 Thieves, they just start missing some of these 1-point tosses. But, I mean, early on, 100 Thieves, they had a great start. I mean, 3 go down here in this clip. Nelson finds the 4th. Royalty just stays alive forever and ever, so TSM have to split their attention to 2 different sides of the map. And then Johnny just goes in for a big-time dunk here. And especially on a map like Infection, obviously 1-point tosses usually win you the game. So when you're able to get these dunks, they just make those scores so much important. And I love the confidence and the intuition shown by Johnny there in that clip, just saying, hey, you saw him line up for the 1-point toss, and he was just like, no, I could actually get this dunk. And making those split-second decisions usually win you the game, but unfortunately because they missed too many 1-point tosses, it kind of offset each other. It
wound up being a pretty close half. I believe it was a 1-point difference, but then TSM really began to pull away. My player who stepped up big time was Cole Chan. I believe he was pretty even going into the half. By the end of it, he finished like +5 or 6. We'll take a look exactly how it wind up broke. This is where it starts for me. I mean, TSM, they get this last-second toss in, but they also waste the Tempest from Royalty. He brings it out within the last couple of seconds. Then you don't have it off the break here. That maybe could have helped 100 Thieves when it comes to stopping and slowing down the pace of the game, which is what TSM did kind of like 3/4 of the way through that first half. They just slowed the game down. They make sure that they can get control of their base. And because 100 Thieves, they don't have that specialist weapon, now you get a whole bunch of scores off the start from TSM. What's pretty funny to see is Cole Chan, I believe, had a couple dunks in on there, and he was at like 12 kills after 7 minutes, and in the last 3 minutes he doubled that. So pretty crazy stuff to see. Here's a look at your overall scoreboard breakdown so far. 100 Thieves, 250 to 153 in hardpoint, and then 6-2 in the S&D. But then TSM fight back. They get that Infection Uplink win, and now we head into Fringe CTF, another very AR-centric map. Also, if you can get your submachine gun player located into the opposing team's main building, whether that's barn or